You're live. Liz, Medeiros, take it away.
All right, so today I am making a what's in your fridge Buddha bowl. And as you can see here, I have all of my ingredients. So we're doing garbanzo beans kind of as the base. I've got some really great cauliflower, some white rice that's already cooked. I've got some mixed greens. So in this mixture, it's got spinach, it's got some collards, it's got arugula. So whatever you have in your fridge is great. So if you have some kale, you can use that as your base. For the white rice, you can use basically any type of grain that you have, quinoa, brown rice, whatever you have, that'll work perfect for that portion. For the cauliflower, you can use any veggie that you have on hand. So broccoli, sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. So any type of veggie that you have on hand. I have cauliflower and I'm really obsessed with it right now, so that's what I'll be using. And then for the garbanzo beans, you can use any type of bean that you have, or you can even use tempeh, tofu if you want like a little bit more protein. So this you can kind of swap out with any other type of bean or high protein item. I've got my seasonings, which are just kind of my typical trifecta: sea salt, black pepper, and garlic powder, of course.
Let's see that up close. Let's see all this up close. Right there. That's it. I could see that. What's in there?
So we've got sea salt, black pepper, and garlic powder.
Fabulous.
Like I said, if you're doing, say, black beans instead of garbanzo beans, you can switch up your spices and add like cumin or even cinnamon if you want to get real nice and a different type of scent going. So really just any of your favorite seasonings, you can swap those out. And then lastly, your dressing. So today I'm using a follow your heart vegan ranch, but you can use like a goddess dressing, a balsamic vinegar if you really like that. So those are kind of the key components of the Buddha bowl. And then whatever you have, you can kind of just fill in those different items. So this is what I'm going to start with. And so I'm going to grab like a large mixing bowl. And we're going to add our garbanzo beans. And I'm actually going to add the cauliflower to it as well, since they're going to bake together and they cook at about the same temperature for the same amount of time. You can just toss them together so it makes it really easy for you. Then I've got some olive oil. Again, any type of oil that you have on hand, whether it's grapeseed oil or coconut oil to give it a different flavor. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon amount. So I've added that to my bowl. And then all of those delicious spices that I was talking about, we're going to add to this bowl as well. Oh, and most of it got stuck, so that's fun. Let's add that.
What were those spices again?
I'm doing sea salt, black pepper, and garlic powder. And so now I'm just taking a spoon and I'm going to mix all of those ingredients together until everything is nice and combined. So now you can see everything's well coated with the olive oil and the spices. And then I'm using an air fryer. You can definitely do this recipe in the oven. I've got it set to 400 degrees. For the oven, you can set it to 400 degrees as well, but you might just need to cook it a little bit longer than with the air fryer. The air fryer cooks really fast, and I just like it because it heats up fast, it cooks your items fast, and you can just kind of move on with life after.
Let's see that air fryer.
Yep, so you pull, every air fryer is a little bit different, but mine pulls out like this, and it has a tray on the bottom. And so all I'm going to do is add the garbanzo beans and the cauliflower to the air fryer as such. So now you can see they're in the tray. And I'm going to set that for about 8 minutes, and then I'm going to check it halfway through. Perfect. So while our garbanzo beans and cauliflower are cooking, I'm going to prep the rest of the bowl. So again, we've got our greens ready. And then I'm going to add the white rice that I have and just put it right on top of the greens.
If you wanted to use, for example, quinoa or Cauliflower rice, you could do that, correct?
Exactly. So, like I said, I have a mixture of spinach, kale. I think I've got some collard greens in here, but at the base you can put any green that you have, even lettuce, and then you want to put your grain on top. So
Can
I
you
have
put
white
that
rice.
right into the camera? Let's see that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, tell us again. What's in there?
So we've got greens on the bottom. So it's a mixture of spinach. There's some kale. There's some lettuce. There's some collard greens. And then we've got the white rice on top. I had that already cooked up, so what I do is I'll make like a big batch of rice and just have it on hand. That way I can throw it in a bowl like this, or you can throw all these ingredients into a wrap, super easy. So it's just nice to have that on hand. That way you can just make up dishes like this really quickly. All right, so we've got all of that, and then once our veggies are ready to go, we're basically gonna put that right on top here. And again, if you don't have garbanzo beans, if you don't have cauliflower, you can do broccoli instead of cauliflower. You can do tempeh instead of garbanzo beans. It's really nice that you can just kind of swap out those items, but you kind of layer it as such, with the greens, the grains, and then the veggies and a bean. I didn't mention, I got these really great microgreens. So these are like baby broccoli, and they're very nutrient dense. And I love using them as a garnish, so on the very top of your meal. So it just makes it look really pretty and appetizing, but they're really good. So they give you some extra vitamins and minerals with your meal. So I'm going to put that on last. And yeah, and then the last thing that we'll top it off with is our ranch dressing. I really like this one. You can find it at most grocery stores. You can also make your own homemade vegan ranch if you'd like, with cashews and lemon juice, apple cider vinegar. Yeah, you can make a lot of really great dressings just to have at home. I'm going to take a look at our, all right, these are looking really great. So I'm just going to give them a little toss. You can see that the cauliflower is already starting to brown a little bit, which is perfect.
And it's so fast.
It's super fast. That's why I love the air fryer. You can, you set the timer and you can come and check on it, but it cooks really fast. And it's just, especially in summertime, I don't know about you, but I do not like using my oven in the summer. So this has been a lifesaver to just cook up some things really quickly, and it doesn't heat up your apartment, your house quite as much as a traditional oven does. So I'm a big fan of the air fryer. It makes your life so much easier. So we just have a couple more minutes. Uh-oh, I can't hear you, Jane.
Tell us about PLM. What does it stand for? And this incredible business you have in the greater Seattle area.
Yeah, so I'm the co-owner of Plantlife Meals, which is a vegan meal delivery business based in the greater Seattle region. So we have our menu, which is mostly whole foods, plant-based meal options. So things like lasagna, we have a really good picnic wrap right now, and folks in the area order online, and then we deliver weekly. So you have your meal set for the entire week, which is really nice. So if you're really busy, you don't want to make, your dinner, or maybe lunch is really difficult, you can have your meals ready to go. We also sell our products at some local coffee shops in the area. So if you don't get your order in, you can always check out a local coffee shop to pick up those items. So we got some vegan pastries, even some gluten-free pastries. So yeah, we love serving our community and coming up with fun new vegan items for folks. Since fall is here, Seattle is definitely feeling the fall weather right now. We're going to be introducing a gluten-free pumpkin scone, which is so good. So I'm so excited that we'll be launching that this week, and a fall butternut squash stew, which is to die for. Oh, I think you're on mute.
Apologies. What's the website?
So you can order at plantlifemeals.com. And we also have all of the retail locations that we sell our products at on the website as well. So if you want to try at a local coffee shop, you can definitely do that. I'm going to take a peek at our beans. All right, these look perfect. So I'm going to pick up a cauliflower so that you can see it's got a nice little browning going on here, and the garbanzo beans are just nicely toasted. So I'm
Let
going
me
to,
see that again. That was so good. I just really like to see you just literally toss them right in there, and in a very short period of time, they're made. Wow.
I love it. So I'm going to pull out the cauliflower first, and I'm going to place them in my bowl. So again, we've got the greens on the bottom with the rice on top. And now I'm putting some cauliflower on the side. And then on the other side, I'm going to add our garbanzo beans. Okay. This takes a little bit of finessing, but...
How did you learn to cook like this?
Oh my gosh. So I went vegan, it's almost been 4 years now, and I didn't really know what to make or really had to nourish myself. So I just started playing around with different recipes. I'd go online and just find a recipe and I would try it out. And I just started learning a lot about different types of vegan recipes. And
Let's
my
see
mom was
that bowl. While you're talking, I want to see that bowl. That is so gorgeous. Yes, interrupting. Tell us about the bowl because it looks like I want to fly to Washington State right now.
You should. I'll share it with you. Yeah, so we've got the greens on the bottom, we've got the rice, we've got our roasted cauliflower, and then our nicely toasted garbanzo beans. So now we're going to top it with our ranch dressing. Again, you can use any type of dressing. I really love goddess dressing as well. That works well with this bowl. So I'm just going to do a nice drizzle. If you really like ranch, you can go crazy if you'd like, but that's a good amount for me. The lighting's going a little weird. And then last but not least, we're putting our microgreens. Again, these just kind of finish off the dish nicely, and it gives you all those extra nutrients. So those are just kind of
What are those microgreens?
they're basically baby broccoli. So like
Oh.
very, very young broccoli. And so they're packed with tons of nutrients, and they just make your dish look super pretty. So I love putting that on the very end.
And this recipe will be available on janeunchained.com. Every time we do a lunch break live with somebody fantastic like Liz, we do a story and you can download the recipe. You can print it on your recycled paper at home if you want to. So it will be available in the next few hours. We love this recipe. Tell me again about how you ended up developing this incredible company, Plantlife Meals. Plantlife Meals delivers in the greater Seattle area. Tell us.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a long time coming, but I actually started off my career in public health research, and I kept encountering people who were recently diagnosed with colon cancer and rectal cancer, and I just felt like I wanted to do so much more. I was just feeling like I needed to do more for individuals. Like I didn't want them to walk through the door and have this really horrific diagnosis. And I would go home and I would just think, lifestyle, it's all about lifestyle, eating healthy food, exercising and not smoking to prevent lots of different types of cancers. And so in the office, I was doing, supporting these large research studies. And then in the back of my mind, I was thinking, how can I get them delicious food that will help support a healthy lifestyle? So my partner, David, and I thought about this idea of, maybe just having food show up at people's doors. They didn't have to think about it. It would be good food that's good for them and good for the planet. So yeah, we just started testing it and people kept ordering. And, 2 years later, we're still here, we're growing, and it's been an incredible experience. So we love doing what we do.
And so, how is the business? How's business doing?
It's doing really good. You know, the pandemic has been very interesting, but I think with so many people working at home, so many moms having to work and mother at the same time, not having time to think about cooking, uh, people quickly realize, hey, if I have healthy meals ready for me to go in my fridge, I can just go to that and not have to worry about cooking. I can focus on the important things like family and your career. So it actually it's been a really interesting experience with the pandemic, and we've been so lucky to be able to help people kind of keep their life on track with everything going on.
This is absolutely extraordinary. You are amazing. And I was clocking it. You made that entire incredible dish in under 15 minutes.
Yes, that's why I love it. It's super healthy, super quick. If you don't want it in a bowl, you can throw it in a wrap, like a gluten-free wrap or a whole wheat tortilla. All the same ingredients. Throw it in a wrap, and you can do it that way as well. It just kind of depends, you know, how you're feeling that day.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the ordering. Like, how does it work? For example, I have fresh vegetables and fruits delivered to my doorstep once a week, and that's great. How does yours work? Give us the 411 on that.
Yeah, of course. So everything is ready to eat when it shows up at your door. So we make complete meals, so you don't have to prepare anything. All you have to do is either eat it fresh, if it's a salad or something, or you can pop it in the microwave, pop it in the oven to heat it up. So we try to make it as easy as possible because it's nice having ingredients show up, right? Like it's really nice to have that on hand, but sometimes you just want it all ready to go. So that's how all of our meals arrive. So you order online, pick what you like, and then we show up the following week with a nice bag full of meals and maybe some pastries in there as well.
And if you want to freeze it, right? You can freeze it and then thaw it out and make it for the next day and the next day.
You can. I mean, I don't know about you. I'm not the biggest fan of things have been frozen and then thawed out. So we do recommend to eat them in the during the week that you've ordered them. But there's certain meals that you could definitely freeze. We do deliver all of our meals in compostable packaging, much more eco-friendly than plastic. So all you would need to do is transfer your meals into something that's freezer safe, like a glass container or some other sort of container that's freezer safe, and then it should be good to go.
All right. And then I wanted to reveal what I'm making for lunch. Those are potatoes,
Yes,
garlic potatoes. They're not fully cooked yet. I put them in before we started the lunch break live, and I'm going to have them for lunch with a kale salad. Um,
I love
discovering
that.
discovering the air fryer was such a huge breakthrough for me because just the idea of cooking potatoes, but now I literally slice them up, very little oil, just a spritz, some
Yeah.
garlic salt, some nutritional yeast, and then the
Um,
garlic. Put some actual minced garlic, and it's delicious.
if
So
you buy those tiny potatoes, you don't even have to chop them. You can just literally put those in the air fryer, and they're the perfect size. So if you want to make it super easy, get the tiny potatoes, and they will transform your cooking life.
well, I just want to tell everybody if you're in the Seattle area, plantlifemeals.com. Plantlifemeals.com. You are so fantastic, so organized, so articulate. I am so thrilled that you took the time out of your very busy day to join us on Lunch Break Live and Jane Unchained. Will you be willing to come back sometime?
Oh yeah, I love this. It's so much fun. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you for having, and check out the recipe on janeunchained.com. Thank you, Liz. You are a delight.
Thank